Okay, in this video we are going to look at Minuet I from Partita in B flat major by J.S. Bach, BWV 825. And we're going to look at the left hand. So I just want to talk about the key feature of Baroque music before we start. And that is the variety of articulation. If you think about most Baroque instruments, there was huge limitations on how they could do dynamics. So the way we create our dynamics is by our articulation. And a broad rule, although they liked variety, so it's not a full rule, but the loud notes were longer, soft notes were shorter. So they weren't necessarily played softer, but they gave the impression of softer. So in a bar of 3 beats, I've got my strong and my 2 weak beats. I'd go long, short, short, long, short, short. That's not 100% true, because I might go, oh, I want this bit to be connected because I want it to be emphasized. So if I want something to be emphasized, I connect it. So there might be a motive or something like that. Slurring onto the first beat of the bar, however, was quite unusual, because if you slur onto the first beat of the bar, you disrupt the beat hierarchy. That first beat needs to be clear. So sometimes we see slurring, and we'll see it in the jig actually, where they slur across the bar lines, and that's a big no to a Baroque player. Quantz actually said something about amateur musicians slur because they can't tongue every note. So detachment of notes was the standard, and the slurring was the ornamentation, really. So we are only looking at a piece that's in book 4 or grade 7 ABRSM, so we don't need to be to that huge level of articulation. But if you learn it with articulation from the beginning, it does set you up for a good future in playing Baroque music. So we're in B flat major. So we've got our B flat major chord coming up here. 1, 2, 3. Again, if we play it this way, 2, 3. So not spiky staccato, the spiky staccato sound, I don't ever think there's a place for that in music. Maybe there is, but it's just a light staccato, because the staccato notes are our short notes. So long, short, short, long, short, short, long, short, short. Now we've got quavers, so we'll connect them. 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, short, short. 3, short, short. 2, 1, 5. 1, 5, 2. Now I have a feeling. Oh no, this is the fingering from the old book as well. So 3 over and then 2, 1, 5. I was just wondering whether a B flat fingering would work there, but it doesn't, because otherwise you've got the jump from the 2. Although I guess it still does work, because it's detached. You can jump from 2 or thumb. So if you wanted to do 4 on the E flat, so that you're doing the same fingering as your B flat major scale, that is would still work. And actually there's a benefit to that, isn't there? Because then we're using our long fingers on the black notes rather than having to bring our hand into the forest for our thumb to play the black note. Okay, so then where we're up to bar 8. So 1, and then off, and there's our squashy there, 5, 2, and we have to come into the forest on that 2 so our thumb can play the black note. And then we're doing that first line again. Bar 13, long, short, short, long, short, short, long, short, short, and then the first time bar here, so we're bar 16. So put your elbow in line with your pinky, because this is going to feel very fast when we do it, when we're playing the whole piece. So 5, 4, 2, thumb, 3, 2. So you notice the elbow keeping in line with whichever finger is playing, and then we go back to the beginning. And again, if you're practicing this bit, make sure you are practicing including the first note of the repeat, so that you have a continuation across the bar line. Notice one more thing, and that is that I gradually moved into the forest, because I knew that when I go back to my repeat, I'm going to have my thumb on that key. So elbow comes through, but my fingers also walk in. Okay, so I'll play from bar 1 to bar 16. And now, if you're on the repeat, you wanted to ornament it, I'd say at this level, either ornament in the right hand or the left hand. You probably don't need to worry about both. And I think it's probably easier to ornament the right hand at this stage, but what could we ornament here? work? Oh, except it changes the fingers. No, it doesn't. And those lower mordents that Partita would have called battements, those battements are actually really appropriate because this, even though Bach is German, a minuet's a French dance. So he would be more likely to include French ornaments, but we could do a German ornament. So we could, all we want to make sure, is that we don't have to disrupt our fingering, because we don't want to have to train our hands to have two separate fingerings. But there's some options where you could put ornaments in the left hand. The left hand ones are also going to be a little bit more tricky because they might disrupt the right hand. If I might need to go to the beginning to try this one. A thumb. So see, it's because they have to be separated. And so on at that speed. So we don't want the ornament to make the right hand play and fall onto its note. So left hand ones are going to be a bit more tricky, which is why I suggested the right hand ones in the earlier video. Okay, bar 17 is our second time bar. Now we're on to the second section. So 5, 2, 1. Notice that's the dominant, the F major chord there outlined. 2, 3, 5, 2, 1, 2, 5, 1, 5, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 5, 2, 1, 4, 2. And our scale, and remember with our scale, we always practice one note more if we're practicing sections. Whoops, and I missed the note anyway. That's our section. And I wouldn't worry about any articulation on that. I would just leave that connected. 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 5. Or you could do 1, 2, 3. Because you've done a separated note there, you can jump your hand 4 over. 1, 3, 2, thumb, 5, 2. And then this thumb, usually I play it in the right hand. You might play it in the left hand. That MS is sinister hand. Your left hand is your sinister hand. 3 over, 5, 2, 5. Thumb. Then here's our fast passage again. 4, 2, thumb, da, da, da. First note of bar 18. So back to bar 18 for that note. So always practice with that there. And if we were going to ornament the left hand here, maybe that would work. So yeah, you could do that. Just, would it work here? No, it wouldn't work there. And I said it wouldn't work there because it would create too much of a distance. Oh, it's not too bad because it resolves quickly. There's a cat about to walk into the video and play the piano for me. Yeah, you could do it because the dissonance in Baroque needs to resolve very quickly, and it would. So yes, you could put one there if you liked. I wouldn't do one there because in order to do an upper mordent there, you'd have to use the A flat, and that would get fiddly. So I'd avoid it there. You could do there. Would work. And the 4 over. Again, that's another place you could do it. You could fill in there. I wouldn't do it there. So obviously you don't need to do all those ornaments, but there's some suggestions. So pick which ones you like, try ones I haven't tried. And you don't want to over ornament. If you imagine ornaments like jewelry, you see those, you know, those women who have like 50,000 beaded necklaces on and really gigantic cross ornament or something, and it's like, wow, that's over the top. The same with Baroque music. You don't want jewelry that's over the top. You want like a nice chain with a little ornament, or a nice bracelet with a couple of pendants on it, but you don't want it over the top ornamentation. So definitely don't do as much as I just demonstrated, but pick and choose. What do you like? What works? And you might find what you like today might be different to what you like next week, and that's fine. And a experienced Baroque musician will actually play it differently every time they play it. And so if you say, well, how did you play that section? I liked it a lot. I don't remember. I was just thinking about the articulation, thinking about which notes I wanted to bring out, and then going with it. But yes, at this stage, just going long, short, short in the left hand is quite sufficient. And one or two things to ornament. Make sure they're things that's easy for you to play. You don't want to lose marks because you've tried something that's too hard. So if you try the Batmon, the lower Mornet, and you go, well, that's too hard for me. That one, sorry. If you try that, oh, that's too hard for me, then don't do it. You don't want to ruin marks by being more Baroque. You just want to colour it enough that whoever's listening to it goes, ooh, this person's thinking about Baroque style. And another thing is recordings are often too fast. Remember, Minuet was a danced dance. It did change through history what tempo it was, but in Bach's era, this was quite a moderate speed dance. So you don't want to go psycho. I've heard people say about 130, between 120 and 130, which is a comfortable dancing speed, as being probably what speed they were dancing that era. Okay, so there you go. Go and have fun learning the left hand and thinking Baroque thoughts.